Welcome back. All right, so got my Dolo shirt on. I have the Dolo one as well as the Shorzy one of the new Shorzy t-shirts that they have out there. That being said, I'm going to talk about wrestling today, even though I'm wearing my nice Chargers hat and everything. But yeah, so everybody was asking my opinion on CM Punk's return. I'm going to make this easy. I don't think Punk's worth the headache. I'm not surprised from a merch perspective. He'll move merch. We know this. He did the same in AEW. There'll be a lot of excitement when he's first back and a lot of dream booking. And then the reality of dealing with CM Punk may very well kick in. And honestly, I don't have any expectations when it comes to his return to WWE. I don't know how long it's going to go on. We saw how short some of the returns have been to WWE recently. Although those are normally veteran contracts, well, CM Punk age wise is up there too. We'll see what his rate at which he wrestles is. If it's going to be like once every other month, if he'll be in there almost every week, what they're going to do. But I mean, it's a moneymaker for now. We'll see how long he's there. But do I have any belief that he's gonna keep his nose clean and not complain? Not really. No. So we'll see. We'll see how long he's there, and I'm going to a WWE show, of course, not too long from now. But I don't expect to see CM Punk when I go to a WWE show. That would be a very big surprise if it happened. I really don't see it happening. One thing I wanted to talk about too with AEW and with Tony Khan acquiring ROH, it does feel like ROH gets lost in the shuffle. And it's not even a matter of ROH being like the NXT to AEW that NXT is to WWE. It just feels like it gets lost in the shuffle. So you guys can let me know your thoughts with that too. I think part of it is there's a lot of really good wrestlers. There are a ton of really good wrestlers in this environment in this age in which we live, and yeah, there's a ton of guys who you could argue should be champions, should be belt holders, and it's just there aren't enough belts to go around, which I think is a great problem to have. I think you have it in both WWE as well as AEW. But ROH, yeah, I don't know that that's necessarily working. I don't know how much longer that's going to go on, but I'd be interested to know your thoughts with that. But whether or not you like, to me, ROH has to be a separate entity. They have to make it so ROH is its own company, and I just don't see any way they're going to be able to do that. And which brings me to this: is there too much wrestling right now? My answer to that would be, yeah. For me personally, just because, like, okay, for hockey, there was like over 12 hours of hockey I watched on Friday. Then there's another roughly 12 hours I'm watching Saturday. Sunday, it's another 8, 9 hours of watching hockey. Adding in really long wrestling events to that, it's a non-starter for me. So I did not watch Collision. I did not watch Dynamite last week. I did not watch Survivor Series. I didn't watch any of it until last night. I watched some of the Survivor Series. Um, I did get a kick out of EO doing the spot where she puts the trash can over her head. Woman's insane. Just that move it has to be executed perfectly. It is a dangerous move. There's no way she can see where she's going. It is heavily reliant on the ladies catching her, and it shows the amount of trust that she has with the people she's working with. So I do think there's too much wrestling right now, but that's a good problem to have. I think that contributes to the tribalism, though. AEW is great, WWE sucks. Oh wait, WWE is great, AEW sucks. And I've said before, I don't go for that. I think the more wrestlers you have that are employed, the better. I've mentioned that there's a Las Vegas company that I am a sponsor of that does wrestling, and so yeah, I think the more wrestling you have, the better. And yeah, so and that tie-in is because Tommy Purr and I have known each other for a long time, well over 20 years. Tommy and I have known each other, so if I can help him out and help a company out that he's working for, I'll do that. And again, it's advertising; they'll advertise for me. But Tommy was ahead of his time, and yeah, at some point in time, I may talk about uh, actual pro wrestlers that I had in the E-Fed that I ran in the early 2000s, because there are a few who were actually on my message boards, and I feel like they kind of came up with their characters and they worked on it and perfected it via the online form of writing, and then brought that character into real life, and it's really kind of fun. I kind of envy them that way, that they were able to do so. For me, it really was a matter of being short is one thing when it comes to trying to play hockey. Being short with wrestling, it's just not a thing. It's just not. There are some very good short wrestlers. Yep, absolutely. But for me, that was not going to be a path that I took when I was in high school. So when you'd be learning, I was like 118 pounds. And no matter how much I lifted weights, I could not add weight. But I was also in that wonderful time of life where, because of metabolism, no matter how much I ate, I didn't gain weight either. It was wonderful, and it did not last. So yeah. Um, Anyways, I also wanted to talk about the overload of tournaments. There are a lot of tournaments. I know AEW loves themselves a good tournament. It feels like that with the amount of tournaments that we're seeing in wrestling right now, it's kind of taken the specialness out of it. And I love a tournament. I really do. Again, going back to when I was a kid, I would book like a 64 wrestler tournament where I would just do mock results, and it would emerge with one wrestler being determined like the winner of that tournament. But yeah, the overload of tournaments right now takes away, and the Continental tournament they're having right now in AEW is fine, but there have just been so many tournaments that it to me doesn't feel, I don't know, it doesn't feel as special as it should because there's so many tournaments around the wrestling world right now. Uh, I also wanted to mention the Damage Control storyline while I've got everybody's attention. I think this is one of the best storylines in wrestling, and it's just simple. It's that you add people to a stable, and then the leader is being pushed out the door. Bailey's going to get turned against by her cohorts. The one thing I'm concerned with is I hope they don't turn Bailey into a babyface. Like if she's going to be the sympathetic character because they turned on her, I don't want to see her go back to being all smiley and happy and hugging everybody. I'd like to see her keep that edge. I think part of what's made fans warm up to Bailey is that she's got a real edge now to how she wrestles, even though she's not Adam Copeland. But she does. And so hopefully with this storyline it doesn't ruin that. I also wanted to say too, Santos Escobar, what they're doing with him, really, really smart. I saw that coming though right away. As soon as he's in the ring, being like, "Yeah, Ray, I love Ray Mysterio. He's an all-time hero," and I'm like, "Yeah." Every single storyline of how one wrestler turns on another starts with, I love your work, man. I think you're great," and then it ends with, "Where were you last week?" And I hate you. I always hated you. I was just lying when I said I respected you. So, yeah, I think there's some good storylines going on. I think a properly executed face turn and heel turn works really, really well. But sometimes they're a bit frequent, and sometimes they kind of peter out. It's usually on the women's side that happens, that they'll turn heel, and then the next week they're back to being kind of middling, and then all of a sudden they're face again. And it's like, so are we just ignoring what happens? So hopefully, we don't see that. And AEW said that too. Like, this is not just a WWE thing. There have been times where AEW, a wrestler turns, and then a few weeks later they're kind of back to where they were, and it's like, what was the point of the turn? But anyways, there you go. That's my take on things right now. Again, everybody's all excited about CM Punk going back to WWE. I am far more guarded because I know what can happen when you have CM Punk in a locker room, because we've heard about it for a long time. So it doesn't feel like it's anything new. It doesn't feel like I'm telling any tales I shouldn't be. It's just, we'll see how long things are stable, how long he's happy, and what happens that first time that he's not in the main event, or that he's asked to lose a match he doesn't feel like he should, or he's matched up against somebody he thinks is beneath him. These kinds of things. But at any rate, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. And I already had a CM Punk shirt. And full disclosure, I no longer have that. I went through and we sent some clothes to Goodwill and to that kind of thing, because we needed to clean some stuff out, and my CM Punk t-shirt is no longer in my collection. Also got rid of some of my other AEW shirts because I just looked at them and I was like, when am I going to wear this again? And that was my argument with the CM Punk shirt. When would I wear this again? And I couldn't come up with an answer. So yeah, that's gone out of the collection. Too bad, so sad, and all that fun stuff. But Again, let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. So while my main channel's past 300,000 subscribers, this one's past 27,400. That's not too shabby, so thank you each and every one of you who subscribed. And if you haven't, go ahead, give it a shot. Let me know if you like that. All right, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.